Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Hello and welcome to Tuesday Night on Deck, brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I'm the host, Big B. I'm joined by my three other compadres. Maybe. Next to me is Syrup Crispy Bacon. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. Hope everyone's having a great day.
That's good to hear. And then we're joined by our coach, the guy that lays out the game plan, maybe. Coach D, how's it going?
Hey, it's going well. Chris and I are surviving summer. The previous 3 weeks, Texas has been in preheat. Today's officially summer, so now we're getting inserted into the oven.
All right. Yeah, we got the little heat up here too in Minnesota. So, and then we're joined by Big Dog, Mr. G. How's it going, Greg?
Oh, it's going pretty good. I've been just trying to bide my time while I'm kind of on a semi-summer vacation, but I got some great news today that I get to have a sixth grade program in August for 4 weeks. So that'll be good. Teach a little summer school and everything. So
all right, yeah, no, that was not the best part of my year. I had to do a quarter in summer school too. That was not fun. So, anyways, so let's move on. Greg, why don't we start with you? How about them Cardinals this past week?
Well, the Cardinals, we're hanging in there, but we're still at top. But I think we're tied with the Brewers now. So I think that this race between the Brewers and my Cards it's gonna be neck and neck all season long. I don't really see either team really shaking loose. I don't really see one team over the other. They seem to be pretty even kill. So I think that this is going to come right down to the wire when it's all said and done. But my Cards are playing pretty steady. Last week we did really well. This one guy, I can't remember his name, but he hit like 3 home runs in one day, in one game. I can't remember his name right now, but that was pretty impressive. And so we're just trying to see what happens before the All-Star break. But so far we're looking pretty good. And right now, if the season ended, we'd be in the playoffs. So I'm happy about that.
No doubt. We're always happy when our team's in the playoff hunt. So right now, Greg, you said you guys are battling right now, first and second. What do you think the Cardinals could add to put them over the hump to solidify that first spot?
We dealt a few pitchers and we've had issues, especially this offseason with Carlos Martinez, and he hasn't been showing anything of his former self. So I think that adding another good veteran pitcher, maybe a really good left-handed pitcher, would kind of get us over that hump. I think right now our defense in the outfield is solid. We're getting good pop. Goldie's still smashing home runs. He's hitting for an excellent batting average right now. He's playing lights out. Arenado, when he's healthy, is playing good. Gorman is adjusting to life at second base. So the veterans are still holding in there. Yachty's still playing at a high level. Wainwright's not doing too bad. I just think that maybe getting a little bit more pitching depth, a little bit more insurance. Coach D, you can probably relate. That's pretty invaluable resource there to have good pitching.
All right. Well, let's keep it in the National League then, and let's go to the Mets. The countdown has begun on their fall here sooner than later. So, but Mr. Met, Coach D, what do you think?
Okay, what I think is shut up. A lot of the haters here. The Mets have a 5.5 game lead over the Braves. They finally lost 1 or 2. Uh, so that now they're back to playing major league teams instead of local high school teams. The Mets have been playing major league teams. They're still 5.5 up, playing pretty well. They did on the pitching front. Tyler McGill came back, pitched one game, and now he's got a shoulder strain or something, back on the IL. God, I thought that was going to be good. But Max Scherzer fixing to start a Double-A rehab start this week. So he's close, you know. Usually once they get 2 or 3 in there, something like that. I don't know if they're going to go a little easier on him or not. But hopefully, definitely before the All-Star break, DeGrom, they're looking at right at the All-Star break. And meanwhile, the pitching staff, Carrasco, Walker, Peterson, and the other guys coming in that pitch in, they've been keeping the ship upright and doing well. The Mets offense is chugging along, you know, so they're winning some games by offense. Pete Alonso, once again, he's a beast. He's got 64 RBIs now, along with 19 home runs and hitting in the 280s. Lindor is hitting well. He slumped a little bit for a week or so, but he seems to be back on track. You know, I'm not looking for Lindor to hit 300. He's only hit 300 a couple times in his career. He's kind of all over the map. Last year was by far the worst year of his career, but he's hit 270 to 290, a couple years at 300. Everybody complains, but he is on pace for well over 100 RBIs and 30 home runs. And as always, he's playing Gold Glove caliber shortstop. Some of the other Mets, Sterling Marte was out for a few days with a strained quad. He's back. Good hitter, good defense. Brandon Nimmo, he's had a wrist injury for like a month, so his batting average fell a little bit, but I think he's coming out of it. He's had a couple of multi-hit games. He's playing center field really good. Jeff McNeil is hitting 327, and he's kind of all over. He plays left field. He'll play in second base, but Luis Guillorme has been mostly the regular second baseman because he's also hitting 300, and he's a much better fielder. He's a really good fielder, okay? Big B, your boy Escobar has started to hit. He's committed a few errors, but I know in his past he's been a good defensive third baseman. So he looks like he's rounding into form. The Mets catching situation, they need McCann to come back. At least that'll give them a little more solid defense and a little more offense. But the catchers are still holding their own. You know, the pitchers like them. They call a good game, and that's what a catcher does. Now, in a lot of the talk in the Mets, because the Mets got some guys in the minors. They got a young man named Alvarez, who's a catcher. He's got 13 home runs. He's hitting like 260. Got a cannon arm. He's 20, right? So there's people thinking maybe call him up. You know, but my opinion, don't call a guy up unless he's going to play. Okay, don't call him up to be a bench player. You know, there was some talk of him being maybe a DH. Well, J.D. Davis is the DH now, you know, and his bat started to come alive. He's a 25, 30 home run guy, 280 batting average, you know, and he can play outfield and third base too. Right now, he's kind of in that DH spot. They got a couple other guys. Viennos, he's a 22-year-old first baseman outfielder with power. They've thought about bringing him up. But again, it's the same thing with these young guys. You don't want to bring them up to play part-time. And suppose they don't do well. It might shake their confidence. they got good stuff in the minor leagues. So let it sit there, let them simmer and bake till they're done. There's no drastic need. The Mets would love to pick up another bat at the trade deadline. Probably another pitcher wouldn't hurt either. We'll see. The biggest thing with this team, I can't believe people are still screaming, oh, they're going to collapse just like they did last year. They're freaking 15 games over 500. They've thrown 11 shutouts so far. They're about to get 50 wins. They're right behind the Yankees with the major league wins. So this team is nothing like last year. Oh, my God. Freaking you rats. Jump. If you think the ship is burning, jump off. Okay? It ain't burning. The ship is fully afloat, loaded, ready for war, and steaming full speed ahead.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Dirk's tune after the All-Star break. See if we're still in that hunt there. Chris, let's go to your team in the AL, the Rangers. What's up with them?
Right now they're facing the Phillies 0-0. Just started, but there's 2 men on base. Phillies up to bat. Rangers are in 3rd place in the AL West. About 10 games back from the Astros. Not really surprised, but baseball is a long season. It's up and down, and I mean we've had more ups and downs than past years, so hopefully that continues.
Yeah, no doubt. And what do you think the Rangers need to do to keep moving up, Chris? You think they got a playoff shot, or
right now, no, but
okay,
it's kind of a rebuild, I think.
Gotcha. So for the Twins, they're getting into a rough patch right now against the division. They got Cleveland tonight. The game probably just started. We'll check the scores here. They're rocky right now. They definitely need some solid pitching. I think Ryan's going tonight, the rookie ace that they have, who shocked me. The bats are hit or miss. I mean, when they're on, they're on. But when they're cold, they are ice cold. Like you're living in the North Pole. But the pitching definitely needs to go around. For me, I think the Twins, when it comes to trades, I think they definitely have to go out and get themselves a solidified starter, maybe a number 2 or a number 3 that has playoff experience to help them. So, but outside of that, let's get into some scores here. We got the Rockies and Marlins tied, bottom of 4th. Dodgers over the Reds 4-2, top of 5. At the bottom of the 3rd, start of the 4th. Pirates over the Cubs 5-0. Nationals 2-0 over the Orioles in the bottom of the 4th. Tigers and Red Sox top of 4, 2-1 Tigers. Yankees and the Rays. Rays up by 1, top of 4. Giants and the Braves. Giants up by 2, 4-2 over the Braves. And Cleveland, bottom of 2nd, 1-0 over my Twins. Philly Rangers are tied right now. Mets and Astros tied. Cardinals Brewers tied, and the Jays and White Sox are tied. And then we got, it looks like 3 more games to start. So with that being said, guys, let's get into our NL All-Stars. We're kind of going to bounce around because I've been putting my list together because I did some cleaning this week and I must have misplaced my notebook. So, Dirk, let's start with the Mets. I'm guessing it's going to be, I think I know who it's going to be, but who's the Mets All-Star in your eyes?
Well, one All-Star, yeah, Polar Bear. I think right now Goldie's probably the starter just because he's hitting 300 and he's hitting home runs and a lot of RBIs. But, Polar Bear is a starter. Carrasco and Taijuan Walker could be an addition. Edwin Diaz as a reliever. Outside shot. Lindor, You know, it's he doesn't have a high batting average, 240 something, but 14 home runs, almost 50 RBIs, Gold Glove caliber shortstop. Possibly Jeff McNeil. He's only hitting 327, but nobody ever talks about him.
Yeah.
So they got a guy. It's definitely got to be Polar Bear though. By a lot. You'd think if Scherzer and Jacob were playing, they'd probably be two of the starters, but haven't played, so got to play to be on an all-star team.
Yeah, but it is a fan vote, so who knows? I mean, they might get one start and they'll be in the All-Star game. I don't know. I think, to me, they got to change up the voting some way. So, Big Dog Greg, your Mets All-Star.
Well, when I made this list, I was going by players who definitely should get a nod or something. I
However
didn't
you
always
wanted to
put
pick
down.
it.
Yeah, I didn't always put down, the most outstanding player on each team, but I've noticed a lot of players that could be deserving of an all-star spot. So for the Mets, I put down Edwin Diaz. He's a guy that has been lights out. He hasn't had to there's a lot of times that his services haven't been needed or he hasn't been picking up necessarily a lot of saves because sometimes the Mets are involved in blowouts and stuff, so there's not really save opportunities there. But when Edwin Diaz has been in there, he's been pretty lights out, and he's got the highest strikeout rate in all of baseball right now, or at least in the National League. So, I mean, Pete Alonso is putting up fantastic numbers, but I just want to give a shout out to Edwin Diaz because he's pitching lights out when he comes in. So
he has the best walk-up song. I've seen it a couple times, and it's very Spanish influenced and stuff. But what's really going for him now, little bit I shouldn't say it. His 92-mile-an-hour slider is just eating batters up. There's a guy on the other side of the East River that used to throw that, and he did it for like 15 years. So that's his big thing. But yeah, Greg, I wholeheartedly agree with that one. Yep.
Okay, Chris, how about you? Who do you got for the Mets NL All-Star?
Let's see. Diaz.
Okay. Okay, so we're kind of split here because I'm going Polar Bear. I think I'd like to see him go back to back on a home run derby. So maybe that's the Mets' problem is that.
What if he three-peats?
That'd be interesting.
Well,
I kind of don't want him to do it. I don't want him to jinx it.
Yeah, see, he three-peats and then the Mets fall out of the playoff run. I mean, so. Greg, how about your Cardinals? Who's your all-star at the Cardinals?
Well, I'm for the Cardinals. I've been talking about him a lot the last couple of weeks. I'm going to go with old Goldschmidt out there. I mean, he's playing awesome baseball right now. He's got 16 home runs, 58 RBIs. He's batting 344. So I think that he's the best option, best thing going right now for the Cards. He's just hitting for power, hitting a lot of doubles, got an excellent batting average going on, especially for a first baseman. So, he's my obvious guy there.
Exactly. Chris, how about you? Who you got for the Cardinals All-Star?
Goldschmidt.
Okay. Coach Deeb?
Yeah, definitely Goldschmidt. Nolan Arenado is having a good year. He's in the running. I'm thinking maybe Yadier might get a lot of votes because he may be a substitute ad. If Albert was not so far removed from a great year, I would say him. But Adam Wainwright is another guy on the Cardinals. The Cardinals are freaking loaded. I'm glad Greg went off. I don't want him to get on. Whoops, he's back. Stop talking about him.
Yeah, I'm going to go Goldsmith too, but I can see Yachty get on. I can see Adam Wright get on. Possibly maybe as an injured replacement or the last fan vote if they still do that, Pujols. But I don't think Pujols will get on. So, but I got Goldie. I think we're all unanimous there. Let's go with the Phillies. Coach D, I'll start with you. Phillies.
Well, Phillies. Bryce Harper is always going to be in there, and he's having a pretty good year. Castellanos, not having a great year. Neither is Kyle Schwarber. And they got some guys that are not playing up to potential. They are. That's why they are where they are. JT Realmuto is not playing like he normally does. Probably Bryce Harper.
Yep.
That'll be my guy.
Okay.
Zach Wheeler maybe as a pitcher, but it's Bryce. He's the guy.
All right. And we got a comment here. Jerome Green saying hi, good evening, blessing to all you and yours. Same to you there, Jerome. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Chris, how about you? Phillies All-Star.
I would have to agree. It's Bryce Harper.
Greg?
Yeah, I think that when it comes to the Phillies, Harper has probably been their most consistent player. You're talking about with Harper. He's a guy that's got maybe an outside chance at the Triple Crown. I don't think he's going to get the Triple Crown, but he's putting up great home run numbers, RBI numbers. His batting average is kind of hanging in there, so he might have an outside chance at it. So I'd have to give it to Harper.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you guys. It's Harper. I kind of looked to see, and Schwarber would have been a good guy, but he's having an off year. But of course, they're lighting it up right now. But I'm going Harper. Greg, how about you and the Braves? Who do you got for the Braves?
Well, I got for the Braves, I put down Dansby Swanson. I think that, like I said, when I made this list, I'm picking deserving guys, not necessarily their most high-priced player or anything.
Yep.
But I think that Swanson, I think that he's one of the best in the business right now at shortstop. He's come a long way since his rookie season, cutting down his strikeout rate. He hits for good power now. Has excellent defensive range. So I think that he's been pretty good over there at shortstop. So I would put him down. I think that he's deserving of an all-star spot.
All right. Chris, how about you, the Braves?
Yeah, I agree. It's Dansby Swanson. I know he was struggling at first, but now he's, finding something there. So,
Coach D?
Yep, Dansby Swanson. I wouldn't be surprised if Ronald Acuna got in just because of who he is. He hasn't played a ton, maybe 25 games, 20 games. But when the first week he came back, it was like a freaking hurricane. So he put his name out there. So he may get picked based on popularity and what he does, and the Braves have been playing well. I think some of the guys that were slumping early in the year, they all kind of put it together for, 3 weeks, had that beautiful 14-game winning streak, but I ain't worried.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. I picked Swanson. I know one of our fellow co-hosts here, first month of the season, wanted Swanson gone, traded, sent down to high school baseball because he couldn't hit the big side of a red side of a barn. But he's kind of eating his words right now. But Swanson's definitely. Coach D, let's go with the Dodgers. Your beloved, hated Dodgers. What do we got there?
Yeah, the Dodgers. Let's see. Mookie Betts always in that conversation. Max Muncy. Let's see here. Gavin Lux, Chris Taylor. really, they're playing pretty good. Uh, Kershaw has been up and down, but he's still Kershaw
Yep.
a little bit. And uh, Ferris Bueller's Day Off has been pretty good. I think he got hurt recently, but he might be back. I haven't heard nothing since. Yeah, I'll go with Mookie Betts.
Okay. How about you there, Greg?
Even though he's on the injured list right now, I'm gonna have to put in Mookie Betts. He's got 17 home runs. He's got great offensive numbers, and he's been probably the most consistent presence in that lineup. The Dodgers overall, they're still probably right now top 5 or 6 team, considering how inconsistent they've been all around within that lineup. But I think that Betts, when he's healthy, he's definitely my all-star for this team.
All right. Crispy, how about you and the Dodgers? Who you got for their all-star?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with Mookie Betts.
Okay. For me, I got 2 pitchers, Anderson and Gonsolin. They're both 8-0, pretty dealing. So I would have to take one of the 2 pitchers, but Mookie Betts is not a bad choice either. Let's go with the Padres, Coach D. Padres.
The Pods. Okay. They actually earlier the other day poked their nose in the first place all by themselves for a day.
Yep.
So they think they're relevant with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers just look at them as like the neighbor's kid down the street. Manny Machado is having an awesome year. I would say he's the leading candidate. Of course, Fernando's in there. He's in there. He's almost hitting 300 and stuff. So, but Machado, even though he's kind of a jerk,
All right, Coach or Big Dog Greg, how about you?
Well, I really want to give this nod because this guy has been a very consistent pitcher for years, and he has never became an all-star, even though he's been consistent year in and year out. And I'm gonna give my all-star pick to Joe Musgrove.
Ooh.
He's got a 1.59 ERA. That's super low.
Well, he threw a no-no this year, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Early in the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's pitching lights out. Hard to hit. I know that Manny Machado is putting together an excellent season, but I think for me, the fact that he's never made an all-star team and that he's been consistent, wherever he's at, year in and year out, I think that Joe Musgrove is definitely deserving. I don't know if he'll get it, but a 1.59 ERA will carry a lot of weight. So
exactly. Chris, how about you?
Joe Musgrove.
All right. For me, Greg, I thought you were going to steal my guy. I'm going to go with the closer, Rogers. I mean, he's pretty decent coming out of that pen there. Something the Twins could have had, but they ended up trading him, which, it is what it is. So I'll go with Rogers, but I do like the Musgrove. Let's go with, let's see here. Let's go with the Diamondbacks. Greg, how about the Diamondbacks?
The Diamondbacks don't really have a whole lot going on. But I think that if I had to put somebody deserving off of that team, I'd go with Zach Gallen.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know. I think that he's probably been their best player, the best thing that they have. They don't have a whole lot going on right now, but I think that Zach Gallen's been doing pretty good.
All right, Coach D, what do you got?
Yeah, they're a funny team. They're playing okay. They're not 500, but they're doing better than other people.
Yep.
Mad Bomb's had a few good streaks, but then he'll have a bad game once in a while. He needs to put it together and everything. He's got a 3.4 ERA, 3-6, but he's their probably best pitcher. I don't know with They got Sterling Marte, not
Yep.
Starling. And he's a pretty good young player. They have young guys I honestly never really heard of, but I'll throw my hat with Mad Bomb just because who he was.
Yep.
He's not pitching bad. He's not pitching as bad as his record would indicate.
Okay, Chris, how about you?
Yeah, Zach Gallen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Walker, first baseman. I mean, like you guys said, like you guys said though, Diamondbacks, kind of struggling, kind of, up and down, big roller coaster. Let's go with the mighty Rockies. Greg.
Well, for the Rockies, I'm going to go with CJ Cron. He's got 17 home runs, 52 RBIs. He's smashing the ball really well. So, I mean, they just signed Bryant, and he's not doing too bad. But, that team does have a few different guys that probably could be in the mix. But I think that CJ Cron is playing the best ball on that team with 17 bombs.
All right, Chris, how about you? Rockies.
Yes, CJ Cron, first
All right.
baseman.
Coach D?
Yeah, and I agree. CJ Croney's kind of having a career year. He's been good, always on the edge, and it looks like he's figured something out. I saw him play here at Texas on opening day, and he hit this shot that, well, thank God the stadium's enclosed, but he has that kind of power. He could, he's kind of on pace for about a 40 home run year, and he's a good player. He's not 22, but I think he's like 27 or 28, and a lot of guys find it at that age. So, yeah, definitely him. Maybe Chris Bryant because he's Chris Bryant, another guy maybe on the outside that I like the player, Connor Joe.
Okay.
And if you watch a game, he'll make you look at him every game. He'll do something. He's just one of them hustle guys, got a little bit of pop, hits a decent average,
Yep.
but he's a hustle guy, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with CJ Cron. Dirk said it the best. He's putting on a career year, on pace for career numbers. So, and he's 32.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, I had to look it up too because I thought he was still a young guy. But
Yeah.
spent 1 year with the Twins. Got to see him, liked him. They got rid of him.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to the Nationals. Coach D, who do you got for the Nationals? Another team that's kind of rocky right now.
Nationals, probably what's his face? The not Solar. So Soto. Yeah. He's a freaking beast. Josh Bell, maybe. But yeah, Juan Soto, he wants money. He's gonna get it. I don't think
getting it there.
I don't think the Nationals are gonna give it to him. So their loss. Stuff. So yeah,
All
him
right.
or Josh Bell.
Okay. Greg, how about you?
I really love Soto's game, but I'm going to go with Josh Bell just because he's definitely putting up numbers that could be all-star level. He's got 11 home runs, 44 RBIs. He's playing good first base over there. So I don't know. I would give him the nod because I think those numbers are worth a look. So
Yep, exactly. Chris, how about you? Who do you got?
Yeah, first baseman Josh Bell.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna split up again because I'm going Soto, but I do like the Josh Bell. Josh Bell's been tied into a lot of trade rumors, teams looking for power, so he could be a guy on the move. Greg, let's go with the Cubs, the lovely Cubs.
well, with the Cubs, we haven't really called out too many catchers during our last 2 weeks here, so I'm going to go with Wilson Contreras.
Okay.
With 12 home runs, He's definitely a guy kind of in no man's land right now within that organization. Because it's he's playing excellent ball. He's playing ball worth probably some big money for the position, and I just don't know if he's going to be kind of long term. But he's definitely putting up some solid numbers and giving them some good leadership there in the dugout. So I would give him my all-star nod there.
All right, Coach D.
Yeah, Wilson Contreras. I think he's going to be a free agent, and I wouldn't mind if the Mets picked him up, even though they got a really good one in the minor leagues. But good power. He calls a good game, and he throws out base runners. So out of all the Cubs, he's probably the best all-round player. They got some guys that got power, but they're hitting 210. They're really young. So I think him. Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, we're all unanimous. Contreras definitely, like Greg said, we haven't called out too many catches because there hasn't been too many like Contreras. So definitely got him. Coach D, let's go with the Mighty Marlins. Who do you got there?
You said Mighty and Marlins in the same sentence. But they
got to throw some one-liners out there.
They do have some players, though. Let's see. Jazz Chisholm, I kind of like. Hitting 241, 13 home runs, 42 RBIs. He's an exciting player. He might be a guy. And who else? They got your favorite. Here's another guy. He's low batting average, but Jorge Soler, last year's World Series MVP. I don't know if he can carry his name on that. He's hitting 219, 12 homers, 30 RBIs. The power numbers aren't bad, but the batting average, he should be hitting for a higher average. He tries to hit a home run every time up, and it's obvious.
Yeah, no doubt. Greg, how about you?
Go with Jazz.
Not that I follow the Marlins around all that much, but the last two seasons, this guy's really stood out to me, and he's been my favorite player as far as the Marlins is concerned. It's Sandy Alcantara, a high velocity pitcher with a 1.72 ERA right now. He's got electric stuff. One of the bright spots, definitely part of their young core. And I'd love for him to be a mainstay within the organization or come to the Cardinals. But definitely a high strikeout guy, pitches with a lot of velocity. So doesn't give up too many bombs. And I think that he's just been pretty much their most consistent pitching presence for the last two seasons.
Yep. No. Crispy, how about you?
I have to agree with Greg on it.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. Yep. Alcatraz, whatever.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce the name, but yeah, I agree too. That's who I definitely took. Like Greg said, he's been just lights out. Holding the Marlins there. So, Greg, how about the Reds? Who do you got for the Reds?
With the Reds, they're kind of having to do kind of what Oakland and some of these other low payroll teams are doing now, trying to find somebody within the organization, somebody within the minors that can come up and kind of step up. Yep. And they kind of found a diamond in the rough. I'm going to throw out a name, third baseman Brandon Drury. He's got 14 home runs right now. Definitely a solid pickup for the Reds. And that's kind of what they're relying on, is these guys coming up through the system that they're not really into for a whole lot of money and getting some good production. And I think that Brandon Drury has been a definite bright spot for this organization, because they're definitely haven't put a whole lot of money into anything the last 2-3 years.
Coach D.
Yeah. Well, for the past 10 years, you could have penciled in Joey Votto, but
Yep.
I think he got old fast. Not having
Real
a good year.
fast.
Kyle Farmer, Brandon Drury.
Yeah.
Now,
Hey, favorite player on the team, but they just haven't built it. He's kind of like Mike Trout over there. They just haven't built enough around him.
yep, he wasn't here early enough for Barry Larkin, and they had a good team early, and but the Reds just didn't. I don't know. Is Marge Schott still in charge over there, or is he passed away?
I don't know.
But I think Kyle Farmer. You hear a lot about him. You hear a lot about Brandon Drury. They're both really good. Kyle Farmer doesn't have the power, but he's up there in RBIs, good average.
Yep.
And the same thing with Brandon Drury. One of them too. That's what I'm going to say.
Chris?
Yeah, I was gonna say Brandon Drury.
Yeah, I'm going Drury too, but yeah, Farmer. If they get two, those will be my two. But if they only get one, I think it's going to be Drury. Let's go with the Giants, Coach D.
Giants. Whoops. Let's see. Let me pull it back up. There we are. The old Giants. They beat my Mets the other day.
See, the ball's starting.
Yeah, I know. They're a good team. Crawford and Belt. Crawford more so. You got to put in there as one of the guys. It's they took over kind of the team leaders, I think, after Buster left. So let's see. It's Brandon. Yeah, he's not coming around. Brandon Belt. It's their I don't know. Let's see what's Rodon. Well, Carlos Rodon, 6-4, 2.8 ERA, 91 Ks.
Yeah.
1.14 WHIP. Let's put him in there. They're pitching. It's like they're winning and they're staying close, but nobody's gotten hot yet. Their offensive players haven't gotten hot yet, but their pitching's been in there. I'll go with Rodon.
Okay. Greg.
This guy that I have, he hasn't been All-Star since 2015. I think he was a rookie then. He hit 28 bombs, and his numbers haven't been really quite that on fire since his rookie campaign. But I'm gonna say it's gonna be a free agent pickup with Jock Peterson. He's got 14 home runs right now. He's just, he's hitting the ball solid, and so that's what I'm going with.
He actually has a good batting average for him.
Yep. Chris, who do you got?
Yeah. So mine will be Joe Peterson.
Jock Peterson? Yep.
Yeah, Jock Peterson.
Yeah, I'm going with Jock Peterson too, and I'm starting to think Greg has a camera in my room here because he's got like the last 5 picks like right off of my cheat sheet here. So I don't know, but yeah, Peterson. Coach D, let's go with the Brewers.
The Brew Crew. Let me pour that up. And that's right. They're in the National League.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we're doing.
I know. It's there are they got some players, Rowdy Tellez he's getting older, but he's getting a little better, a little bit at a time. He's, 10 home runs, 39 RBIs, and 250. He's their first baseman.
Yep.
There's a lot of good first basemen. It's Christian Yelich. He hasn't. It's been a couple years now. He was hurt a lot last year. He's not in there. Hunter Renfro. I don't know. I'm going to go with Rowdy.
Okay, Greg.
I'm kind of pitcher heavy on this list. I'm going to go with Josh Hader. Just because
Always forget
Josh
about
Hader
him.
has been very, very consistent for the past several seasons. And this season, I think he pitched, I can't remember how many innings, but it took a long time before he even gave up a run. I think he pitched close to like 40 innings or something before he got touched up for a run. So not too many people have handled Hader in the past, and he has hardly been hit hard this year. So I would go with him. And I really think that it's time for the Brewers. I know that right now they're atop their division, but I think that to get someone like Hader to stay, they're going to have to invest a little bit more money in pop in their lineup to make a run because he's just too good of a pitcher to either not make the playoffs or have an early playoff exit.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah, or use him to get prospects, which sadly, because he hasn't been paid yet.
Yeah.
Chris, how about you, the Brewer Crew?
Josh Hader.
Yeah, I like the Hader pick, but I'm going to go tell us with Coach D there. I think both those guys are going to get it. It's going to be a close call. But like Greg said, Hader, he's pitched in 20 games, got 20 saves and 1 loss. So, he's up there 0.87 ERA. So, yeah, he's definitely a guy to be reckoned.
Even more sick is his whip at 0.67.
Yeah.
They're both
exactly.
sick stats, but the whip, what the hell?
All right, Coach D, let's finish it off with the Pirates. Who do you got?
The Pirates are Pittsburgh getting better. They don't suck anymore. Let's see. They got some.
It's tough.
Yeah. They got a lot of young guys that are like doing pretty well, but nobody's like standing out as like their shortstop, Hoy Park. Let's see where. Yeah, no, he doesn't play that much. I thought they had maybe it was this guy I was thinking of. Nope. It's they're one of the teams I don't follow a lot. I just look at the standings.
I get it.
I know some of their pitchers are doing pretty well.
Pitcher's not doing that hot.
Yeah. I can't. Let's see this. I'll do it the other way.
All right.
They don't have a lot. Looks like maybe Cabrian Hayes.
Okay.
Pretty fast guy. He leads the team in hits, hitting 265. Third baseman, he's 25. He's just like all of them. You hate to be a fan at this point because the future is still 3 or 4 years away. They're not as bad as last year, and they're not as bad as the year before. Something's happening, but yeah, maybe him. There's nobody that's really lighting it up.
Nope. But they're third. That's what the funny thing is they're not lighting it up, but nobody's standing out. But they're third. So
they're quiet.
Yeah, Greg, who do you got?
I'm gonna go with David Bednar, their closer. He's got 11 out of 13 saves, 1.34 ERA, and that says quite a lot, to have a guy that you can count on as a closer, especially within that organization right now. So they don't have a whole lot to work with, but they do have a little bit of young talent coming up. So I think that if they stay focused, I think that in the next few years they'll be halfway decent.
They're getting a lot of top draft picks.
Yeah.
Chris, how about you? Who do you got for the Pirates?
Yeah, David Bednar.
Yeah, that's who I got. I got Bednar, the closer, 11 saves, 3-1. I mean, granted, each team's going to be representative, and Pirates might be one of those teams that's like, well, might just have to throw somebody in there. So that's what I got, Bednar.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a few more minutes left here. Chris, I sent you, let's do the first slide that I sent you.
Yeah.
Or no, the one I posted in the chat. Let's talk about that. As a fan base, somebody posted this one here about the Tigers. Now, as our fan base, how would we take that as our team being serious? Greg, how would you take that with them looking at their cell phone in the dugout during the game?
Well, pretty much their record says it all. I mean,
Yep.
I'm not surprised that their record is as bad as it is with the lack of focus. I mean, they're definitely not all on their phones just checking out, who pitches what, who's going to throw a slider on this count, stuff like that. So as a fan base, I'd be a little bit disgusted because it seems like as much money as these guys are making, they should be a little bit more dialed in and focused on the game.
Yeah.
Yep, Greg or Coach D. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now on my teams, that don't happen. Okay, but they're teenagers. I'm like, no, no dugout, no phones, no food. They can do sunflower seeds, bubble gum, and something.
What? No food in the dugout? Come on, Coach.
No. You know what hell happens when a hot dog shows up with 15-year-olds?
Nope, I get it, but yeah.
This is very makes you think, okay, these guys they're grown men. They are paid a lot. This is a professional league. You would like it that he's looking at an iPad at pictures and stuff. I doubt he's doing that on a cell phone unless the Tigers transition something. You're not going to, these guys, they go in there, they go down, they go smoke a cigarette for some of the guys that, can do that. They're going to do that. They shouldn't probably. If you see on the top of where the statement is, and the first guy in the blue called / gone / Jeff Fry.
Yeah.
Okay, I follow him. He's Jeff Fry, ex-Major League Baseball player.
Okay.
And he's very opinionated on things. He has most of his comments are really good. Some of them kind of dumb, but he's kind of old school. Like, he don't like that. I get it. And sadly, that might be just a product of today's society.
Yep.
The manager's obviously letting him do that. 1, 2, 3 guys sitting there, Now you don't know, because is this before the game started?
Yep, exactly. No, I get what you're saying.
But, I wouldn't like it even in between innings and stuff. Before the game, okay, then you put that thing away.
Yep.
Boom, you say, all right, I'm starting now, honey. Good luck, baby. And then you put it away. They shouldn't be looking at that. But, I wonder if the Yankees look at their cell phones in the dugout. They're picking on the Tigers because they're in last. And
that
everybody's picking why. Well, they don't have the talent. Miggy's at the end of his career. They're on the downslide. Correa hasn't, or not Correa, Baez hasn't worked out. And I don't know what Baez is, but yeah, I don't like it. And it, I could care less if they're doing it, if the coach is okay with it. and this is one of the things with social media. You got to get picked on with every
Yep.
little thing. Okay, it's another thing I don't like. It's another thing I don't like. If you never knew about it, would you really be affected that much?
Yeah.
Your players aren't that good. You're like, oh, geez. What are they supposed to be doing right now? Taking fielding practice in the batting cage? Are they supposed to be taking swings? Some players will go, in between at bats in an inning, run in and take 15 swings because they feel like they're doing something wrong. They'll try to figure it out. I imagine a lot of them do that, because it's right there and it only takes them a minute to run down there. But yes, paying attention to your cell phone, nah, I don't like it. So now that we know about it,
Yeah. All right, Chris, what do you think as a fan? See,
I mean, they always say perception's reality, and that kind of shows that you don't care. It shows that you want to do something else.
yeah,
You're not really there for baseball.
yeah.
Yeah, they could be looking at stats or something like that. I don't know. That's probably what they would say, but
Yeah.
it
Eh,
doesn't really-
And go ahead, Greg. No,
but true hardcore players don't really get fixated on stats, I don't think.
yeah.
no.
And that's after Dirk said that, could be looking at the iPads with the players stats on there or their progressions and stuff like that. Now I can kind of see it, but still, like Chris said, though, perception is 100% what we're looking at here, and we don't know what they're doing. We don't know if it's before game, in between game, inning and stuff like that. So I mean, most of the times that they're going to go do something, they're going to go down the stairs into the hallway. They got a table set up. They can probably look at something. So
Yeah.
as a fan, I definitely wouldn't want to see that unless we know for a fact, they're looking at the pitcher's tendencies and stuff like that. So, But let's move on. We got a few more minutes here. Chris, let's pull up the choose one slide that I sent you. Between Pete Rose, Barry Bonds, you're choosing one to put in the Hall of Fame, or you can say no thanks to either one. Coach D, who are you putting in?
Well, I think Pete Rose should be in. He's been punished long enough. Now, if they're going to put Barry Bonds in, okay, you better get McGuire, Sosa, Palmeiro, all those other guys in. Same thing. If they're going to hold the grudge against the steroid area, put him in with an asterisk. I don't know. I don't know if, he was Barry Bonds, he would have been in the Hall of Fame without extra enhancement because he was already 30 home runs a year, 300 batting average. He was going to go anyway. Pete Rose gambled on baseball. Oh my, you didn't when he was a coach, right? But he didn't gamble on his team, but these old fuddy-duddy people, and I've said it before, the split second he dies, they're going to let it in. They just don't want him to enjoy it.
That's the sad part.
40 freaking years ago, let it go. Barry Bonds, I'll go for Rose, say yes, say right now no for Bonds, but if they let him in, they got to let all the other guys in. Barry Bonds' problem is personality wasn't that great. All the other guys, you loved them. You loved McGuire, Sosa, Palmeiro, the Alex Rodriguez. His wasn't as big, so we got to wait to see a couple more years here. Will he get in? Because he was kind of a weird personality guy, but now he's on TV a lot. He seems nice, and he just had that little short time that he kind of did it to get over injuries, not to get better, because he was already great, and but we'll see,
Greg, how about you? Who you picking between those two?
Considering that he's already served a crazy amount of time for this, I would go with Pete Rose. I think that all-time hits leader, Charlie Hustle, he put everything he could into the game while he was playing. Unfortunately, the gambling thing happened not while he was playing, but he was still connected to the game. as a manager, and everything. So it's pretty unfortunate that he had a lifetime ban, because I think that it is time to at least lift that and let him get back to being a part of baseball in some fashion.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say Pete Rose, because I don't think he did anything during his playing career to taint the game or his reputation.
Yeah.
I think that it came to betting on sports, betting on games. But I think that he's apologized, and I think that I think that for something like this, I think that we as a society, and especially Major League Baseball, needs to have a forgiving heart and let Pete back into the game.
And
Yep.
put Shoeless Joe in.
Yep. Chris?
Yeah.
Chris, how about you? I know you don't know too much about Pete Rose. You know a little bit about Bonds. You've seen him play. So what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, they both have the reasons why they should be in, and all of that. I kind of have to go with Pete Rose. I think
Millennials
it's
should
been
never
long
vote.
enough.
No, but the thing is Coach D's right. I think once Rose time comes, I think he's going to get in, and he's not going to be able to enjoy it. And I think that's really going to put a big
And I really
big
don't like
asterisk on
posthumous
baseball.
votes.
What's that?
I don't really like posthumous votes.
Yeah.
When someone
Posthumous?
dies, they get an Oscar, or when
Yep.
someone dies, they get
Yep.
into the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
I really,
Even though
like to
Pete
see-
Rose deserves it, I mean, but if I had to choose between one of the two, I like Bonds, because Coach D said it best. When he was with Pittsburgh, he was still on pace to be a Hall of Famer. Was putting up the major numbers. His ego just got in the way with what Sosa and McGuire was doing. He wanted to be a part of that, but I go either way. But yeah, I'm definitely. I really hope Pete Rose gets in. So, all right, Chris, why don't we pull up the last one I gave you? Manny Ramirez recently came out and said that if you put Derek Jeter on the Kansas City team, he would just be a regular player. Greg, do you disagree or agree with that statement?
I disagree. I don't think it really
Chris,
would
you can pull it
matter
down.
where Derek
Oh.
Jeter played. He's an outstanding talent. He's definitely one of the best shortstops that I've ever seen play the game, and I've seen some greats. I've seen Ozzie Smith, Barry Larkin, some really top-notch shortstops. So I think that he would have put up pretty much kind of the same numbers. I don't know. I kind of understand a little bit of that statement, just because I think that maybe they're talking about, he wouldn't have been the face of the Yankees, and they won a lot of World Series and made a lot of postseason appearances, and Kansas City definitely didn't do a whole lot for 30 years until like 2014 or 15. Yeah, I totally disagree. I think that he would have had an outstanding career, whether he was with the Pirates, the Royals, the D-backs, anywhere. He's just a very solid talent.
All right, Coach D, what do you think? You agree or disagree? Uh-oh.
Stay.
Uh-oh.
Shut up. Okay. I'm a Derek Jeter fan. Quiet. Okay. Anyway, what the hell? Manny Ramirez, shut up. Okay, yes, the Kansas City Royals wouldn't have won a bunch of World Series, right? Derek Jeter still had a lifetime 300 batting average, 3,000 hits, was a great shortstop. Not the best, he got better as he got older, but he was a leader. I guarantee you, if he played on Kansas City, because he's the kind of guy that makes players better than him. He makes players better by being around them. Kansas City would have gotten to, I'll bet you, a couple of World Series, because they've had good players over the years, and he was the Yankees captain. Not everybody gets that. That's not, okay, here you go, Judge, you're captain. No, only special guys get that. Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth, those guys get it. Yeah, Manny Ramirez, sour grapes, another he's another one with because of the steroids he's not
Yep.
in. And he didn't need it either. He was the freaking great
Yep.
hitter, not the best fielder, but just an absolute beast. He shouldn't say anything. He's not. Of course, he was a Red Sox for a long time, so that is a natural hate thing.
Yep.
He probably
Exactly.
thinks Babe Ruth shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Okay. So, quiet.
All right, Chris. How about you? What do you think?
I think he'd be good on either team. I didn't think it mattered, but you know, he'd probably be the same
Well,
player
I
we would
think
be.
what he was trying to say, he wouldn't have made the Kansas City as good as the Yankees, but Kansas City is not that kind of team.
No.
But he would have definitely, I guarantee you, they would have made a World Series or two with him on the team.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think his leadership would help.
Exactly. Yes.
No, I definitely disagree with Manny Ramirez. I think Jeter's going to be Jeter. I mean, yeah, he got the limelight, the spotlight because he was on the Yankees. They went to X amount of World Series, won a few, but I mean, like Greg said, there's been many great shortstops that we've seen, that, and Jeter is in that same class. I mean, Ripken, Smith, Jeter are my top three shortstops I can think of right now. So I think Manny, yeah, maybe it's just the Boston Red Sox in him that had to come out and say something like that. But
I don't know if Manny's that smart, though.
yeah, who knows? But no, Jeter definitely a class act. I haven't heard anything bad about him playing outside of baseball. But no, I think he would have put up the same numbers. Maybe 10% or 10 points difference in his batting average, maybe. But I think he still would have been Jeter, the leader, making great plays at shortstop. So I think we all are agreeing that we're disagreeing on that. So looking at some scores here before we close out, nothing's really changed. The winners are still up there, but sorry, my phone's acting up here quick. We got the Rockies, Marlins. Marlins up 8-5, top of 6. Dodgers 8-2 over the Reds. Pirates 7-1 over the Cubs. Nationals 2-0 over the Orioles. Red Sox 4-3 over the Tigers. Rays 5-2 over the Yankees, bottom of 7. Giants and Braves battling there, 7-6 Braves. Twins Guardians, bottom of 5, 3-2 there, Guardians.
They caught up.
I think that's the first time I've ever said Guardians. I just kept referring to them as Cleveland. I can't get
Indians.
that. Yeah. Rangers, Phillies are still tied. Astros over the Mets right now, 3-0. Cardinals and Brewers are tied 2-2. That's a big series for you, Greg. So hopefully they can get there. And the White Sox and Blue Jays are top of 4. White Sox up 1-0. So with that being said, let's go around final thoughts. Greg, what you got going on? What's your final thoughts?
Well, let's see. Well, here next month, I'm going to officiate a wedding, and a buddy of mine, I'm going to marry him and his wife off, and he told me the other day that he has absolutely no doubts that he found Miss Right. He just didn't realize that her name was Always.
Are you going to use that joke?
I am.
All right.
I'm not going to use the other thing that he told me though. He said that it's finally nice to meet a woman that does not close her eyes while being intimate. And I said, why did all your other women close their eyes while being intimate? And he said none of them wanted to see him have a good time.
Okay, Coach D, what do you got?
Baseball's going on. My Mets are doing good. I am more than likely not going to be able to attend the show for the next 3 weeks because next Tuesday I'll be at Gulf Shores, Alabama at the beach. I get back, and then 2 days later I go to North Carolina, and I will be at the beach a few times and in the mountain a few times. So it's probably going to be a few weeks. I'll let you guys know. Maybe when I'm in NC, I'll pop on this and do it and have my brother in the background or something. Of course, he'll be yelling, laughing, and stuff. So,
All right.
but he's a Mets fan and a Cowboys fan, so there'll be a lot of that.
All right. Well, you have a good safe vacation there,
Happy
Chris.
summer solstice.
Yeah.
First day of summer.
Okay. Chris, how about you?
Thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. Tuesday Night Mania is coming up, so stay tuned for that.
All right. Yeah, like Chris said, just keep tuned in to Coast to Coast all week long. We got different shows. And for Big B, Crispy Bacon, Coach D, and Big Dog Greg, we'll see y'all next week on Deck. Have a good night.